Hi there. It's been a tough year for all of us, but sometimes it is important to try and take a step back and acknowledge how fortunate we are to live in New Zealand, particularly as COVID-19 shows no signs of slowing down in other parts of the world. Well, Bloomberg has crunched the numbers to determine the best places to be in a coronavirus era. They've asked the question, where has the virus been handled most effectively with the least amount of disruption to business and society? The news website has produced what it calls the COVID resilience ranking, which scores economies of more than $200 billion on various metrics from growth in virus cases to overall mortality rates to testing capabilities. It is comprehensive too. New Zealand comes in at number 1. In other words, the best place to be right now in a COVID-19 era is right here in New Zealand. This could of course change if we don't get access to vaccines in a fast manner or the border management somehow changes. But for now, regardless of your political leanings, let's just appreciate our current situation. Bloomberg said New Zealanders are basically living in a COVID world without COVID-19, and they're right. It said the nation has seen just a handful of infections in the community in recent months, and live music and large-scale social events are back on, though it does acknowledge tourism industries are still suffering. But it says New Zealand is well positioned for a vaccine with 2 supply deals in place. But if you read some of the current commentary online, you would think the country is going to hell. Yes, house prices are absolutely obscene. Poverty is bad, and there are plenty of people being offended every day. For many of us, it is simply too easy to jump down other people's throats, condemn someone for making an effort to try and be happy and appreciative. And just because someone shows a little gratitude about living in New Zealand doesn't mean they're ignoring the bigger problems. Not everything is black and white, although there are plenty of pretend powers at play trying desperately to divide this country, but it won't happen. The United States is now averaging more than 100,000 new cases per day. And just days ago, mass coronavirus testing stations at Shanghai International Airport turned to madness, with guards struggling to hold back anxious crowds. Yet somehow in New Zealand, we're moaning about having to wait an hour in our car to get a test. You may have heard the mental health advice campaigns on commercial radio asking listeners to list 10 things they're grateful for. Yes, it sounds flowery and a bit of a waste of time, but I assure you it's not. Give it a go, you might surprise yourself. In the meantime, let's just appreciate being in New Zealand and being out and about when so many other people around the world are not as fortunate as us.